Hi and welcome to Webmanuals Tutorials. In this video, I will be taking you through the review process as an editor. I will explain the different warnings and how to take your document through a workflow. So let's find our document that we have been working on. From the admin interface, under Documents and Manage Documents. And let's open that document in editor mode. So as you can see, our document is in draft, and we have for the moment finished working on it, and we would like to make it available for review. So let's proceed to the next step of the life cycle after author, which is review. So ideally, before sending out our document for review, we need to check for any warnings. And we can do so under Check. Here we have the summary of all the warnings in our document, and here the number of pages concerned by these warnings. Here are some of the warnings you can encounter. Warnings will always be displayed in red. First, we have overflow warnings, which can be ignored if you do not intend to print your document. We have cross-references outdated, which means that you need to check the links in your document and make sure to update them. The next warning is manual has uneven number of pages, and also chapter belongs on even page. And this would be there in the case the manual would be printed. But they can be solved by adding a couple of extra pages to the manual. But again, this was only if you would print the manual. The warning you cannot ignore is the update needed warning. And this indicates that there is a module which needs to be updated, so it will show the newest content in the published version. So after we have checked our warnings and we are satisfied with our document, we will now check the workflow that the document needs to go through in order to be reviewed, approved, and published. By clicking on each step of the workflow, you can see which user types and roles have access to the steps. Having access means that the user can move the document to the next step of the workflow. Documents can be made visible to the reviewers by selecting the checkbox next to Available for Review. Once the checkbox is selected, envelope icons show in correspondence with the review steps. By clicking on these icons, you can notify specific reviewers that the document is ready to be reviewed. Moving your document through to the review step can be done here under Review. The checkboxes next to the pages are color-coded according to their current workflow step. Simply select the checkbox in correspondence with each page and click on Accept or Reject. You can also select all pages in a certain step by selecting one of the checkboxes above the list of pages. On the top right corner of the checkbox, the number of pages in the relevant step is displayed. You can also move the document to the next step here. So let's say that now your document has been reviewed, you may want to send it to the authorities for the final approval before publishing. You can do so by exporting your document as PDF. You can find the Export button here under the Settings icon. By selecting the Export as PDF tab, This allows you to export the document as PDF and to generate a transmittal letter, which can be selected from the Type menu. From the Revision menu, you can select if you would like to generate the next revision of the document or the current one. You can also select which sections you would like to include in the transmittal letter and whether the PDF should include the watermark. And by clicking on Export, you start the export. So after you have the final approval from the authorities, you can go back to Review and move your document through to the final part of the workflow. Thank you for watching and see you soon for more Web Manuals tutorials.